Shalom, 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 shalom. Brothers and sisters all around the world. My name is Isaac King Ike. If you're visiting my channel for the first time, please subscribe on the subscription button. It's nothing. It's not going to cost you anything. Just click subscribe and then like, so we can be encouraged to keep bringing the content that we bring. All right. And in case you're not understanding what we're teaching, what I'm teaching you, give it time. Give it time. It will sink in. People have different times for their awakenings. What makes sense to you yesterday would make more sense to you today. What doesn't make sense to you yesterday will make more sense to you today. So that's how we progress. Knowledge is progressive. Okay. Please don't forget to subscribe, and the Almighty will bless and reward you. I love you. So I'm going to be talking about symbolism. Symbolism. Now, the world understands symbols, understands signs and symbols, and this is the language that can be spoken to a lot of people without saying words, without muttering words. You only discharge certain energies and vibrations, and people can vibrate on the frequency without uttering words. For decades, for thousands and hundreds of thousands of years, man has devised means to pass informations to the subconscious without saying words, signs and symbols. The occult understand this. All the spiritual principalities understand this. So do not take signs for granted. Do not assume that they mean nothing, because we believers of Christ, we are used to, no, it's nothing. It's just nothing. No. Symbols and signs. If this were not important, the Almighty would not use them in scriptures. Okay? So we're going to be going through some things I wrote down here, some scriptures. We're going to go through them. I'll be very fast. I want this video to be a very short video, so I'll be very fast, though we have a lot to talk about. So I'll be giving you some Bible verses so you can go make your own readings, research on them. Preferably read from the Hebrew Bible and the King James Bible so you can have understanding. All right? Thank you very much. Now, the first thing we're going to start with here is the morning star. The morning star. Now, Lucifer is not the only morning star, but we have been taught that Lucifer is the morning star. The name of his name is morning star. No. But obviously, the name Lucifer is not even the name of the fallen angel, the fallen prince. No, that's not his name. His name is Hallel. All right? And he is the fallen. He's a cherub that fell. Not Lucifer. Lucifer is actually the name of a man, the name of a Roman bishop. All right? Lucifer Cagliari. All right? You can Google that. You find out to amaze you. But due to the translation errors and all of those who are trying to water down the word of Jehovah, they have removed the original name, which is Hallel, and replaced it with Lucifer. And the meaning of the name Hallel is the morning star. The morning star, the shining morning star. He is the morning star of Elohim. All right? Now, Job chapter 38, verse 7. All right? Job chapter 38, verse 7 is a popular scripture. Verse 7 here says, when the morning stars sang together and all the sons of Elohim shouted for joy. When the morning stars, there's an S to it, sang together, there were a lot of morning stars. So Lucifer was not just the morning star. There were a lot more morning stars. That was why the scripture says, when he fell with a whole lot of them. All right? A whole lot of them fell down with him. So I'm going to stick by the book, so it will be very fast. Just try and follow me. Okay? Try and follow me. All right. All the heavenly beings that fed directly from the throne of Yah, those are morning stars. They are the heavenly beings that fed directly from the throne. That's why Lucifer was one that was closest. All right? He was a cherub. And you know, in the hierarchy of the angelic hierarchy, it's cherub before seraphs, then archangels, and the rest of them. Okay? Now, he one of the oldest, and he fed directly. Whose light shine alongside Elohim, but not as Elohim. All right? His light is equally shining. And don't forget that light signifies power, signifies strength, signifies knowledge. Okay? From the word you get illuminate. All right? Now, 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 16. The Almighty now, his light is the light they feed from. The scripture there is telling us about his light. He dwells in a great light that none can approach. All right? So his light is what they all feed from. Okay? But they have their own light. But he is the one with the greatest light, which is Yahuwah. The one close to the light was Haliel, which is Hashatan. Today you call Lucifer, but that's not his name. Who decided to use the power that he has gotten against the Almighty because he felt he had enough power, because enough light was going through him. Don't forget, he's the cherub that covers. And he was able to emit a lot of power because of where he was feeding from a direct source. All right? It's just like you being a channel that water goes through. You can't be dry. There will be residue of that same water from you. But on the other hand, there is another morning star. All right? His name is Emmanuel. His name is Emmanuel. But the difference with this morning star is that he's the brighter morning star. So don't allow these people fool you, telling you that Lucifer is the same person as Yeshua HaMashiach or Emmanuel or Jesus. You get, no, but that's not correct. All right? No. Because they misunderstand the morning star. He is the bright and the morning star. Revelation chapter 22 verse 16. He's the bright and the morning star. And in the book of Malachi chapter 4 verse 2, his star now shines like the sun. That's why he's called the Son, which is the S-U-N of righteousness. He rises with healing in his wings. That is the representation of Christ, which is Yeshua HaMashiach. All right? So that is that. So we're going to move on to cornerstone. Cornerstone. Like I said, this is about symbolism. When Christ told Peter that, Peter, you are Sefer, a rock. Upon you I will build a rock. I will be the church, and the gate of hell will not prevail. Upon the rock, upon the stone. Now, not like Peter is a literal stone, but upon him, he would assemble the church. All right? Now, cornerstone, let's explain this thing in literal form. Cornerstone is the most fundamental stone in the building. It helps the building withstand external force or pressure. That's what the cornerstone is. And that's what the cornerstone does. All right? Now, the other one is chief cornerstone. All right? Now, the chief cornerstone is placed above two walls to maintain them together. Like two walls, above two walls. All right? And to prevent it from falling apart, when you need to join two things together for them not to fall apart, you use the chief cornerstone to do that. Now, Isaiah chapter 28 verse 16 and 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 6, both was telling us of the cornerstone as the foundation. Now, this was Isaiah telling us about our foundation in faith. All right? And how the Messiah is the cornerstone. He is the one that the whole truth is tied to. All the prophecies is tied to. All right? That is the Messiah. And that's Yeshua HaMashiach or Yahushua. Now, for the Psalm chapter 118 verse 22 and Matthew chapter 21 verse 42 is talking about Emmanuel, which is Yeshua HaMashiach, being the mediator. Now, the chief cornerstone now is him mediating. Mediating. That's the part where he played as the chief cornerstone. All right. Now, remember that the scripture says that he, Yeshua HaMashiach, he is the stone that the builders have rejected. Now, because they rejected him, not knowing his value, because sometimes you check even the buildings and some of these cornerstones, chief cornerstones, are not looking nice. They're just something you just put together, but it has to be a very strong rock, so it could bind the boat house together. Now, the stone that the builder has rejected has now become the chief cornerstone, which is talking about Yeshua HaMashiach. Now, Yeshua there is symbolized as the chief cornerstone. There's another symbolism that we need to pay attention to. This one is about Yeshua was symbolized as a serpent, as a snake. All right? And Hashatan equally was symbolized as a serpent, an old serpent. And the enemy does these things just so that they can confuse us and manipulate us, because the greatest tool of the enemy is manipulation. Yes. So Yeshua symbolizes as a serpent. John chapter 3 verse 14 and 21 and Numbers chapter 21 verse 9. Remember when the Almighty told his servant Moses to lift up a serpent. All right. That is what today in medicine is a symbol for medicine, where you have the two serpents crossed each on each sides. All right. That's the symbolism, and that symbolizes Christ. Remember, the scripture now was telling us that in the book of John, that as the serpent was lifted up, so will he be lifted up. So he was also lifted up on a tree, just like the serpent was lifted up. All right. Now the Hashatan, which is Hal-El, was symbolized as the old serpent. Revelation chapter 12 verse 9, Genesis chapter 3 verse 1. Yeshua himself is the Lion of Judah. He's represented as lion. Remember that the enemy Hashatan equally roars like a lion. 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 9, verse 8 to 9. Now, the point here is that the enemy would always parade himself like an angel of light to deceive you. They will always bring something to counterfeit the original. Okay? But only the Spirit, Ruach HaKodesh, can interpret these things to your understanding. Don't be fooled. They have these philosophies out there. They have these ideologies. They have these things they're selling out to people. But the truth alone would remain. The truth would remain. You don't need to enforce the truth. The truth finds its way to be established. You don't need to explain the truth. Time would bring the truth to the light of those who are willing. That's why the scripture says, buy the truth and sell it not. Because the time will come when men will be searching for the truth they will not find. Because heresy will fill the world. Because the scripture says that the time will come, perilous time will come. And then in that time, darkness will fill the earth, and gross darkness the people. The heart of the people will be darkened. So whatever you do, study to show yourself approved. And whatever I've said here, you can make your research and allow the Spirit guide you to understanding. And then you can drop your questions in the comment section, and please subscribe and click the bell there so you can always get notifications when I post a new video. I love you guys. Shalom.